Welcome back to Monday morning. So first proper day of the holidays, in that I would normally be at work today, and it's a super busy morning. Ducklings are shouting because they haven't been fed yet. I'm about to fill up their pond, get them fed, but they're outside already. I've fed the lambs and the kids are helping me because they're here today. They're actually going to be away for a couple of days. But right now the farrier is coming. I've just filled up a couple of hay nets because we're going to bring them up from the field and we're going to get the feet done, give them a check over and get the horses back out. So it's busy getting all of the chores done. Only takes about an hour when the horses get done and for everything else, so not long at all, but a busy morning, and I'll check back in with you once that's done. Harry's been all good. Horses back in the field literally takes them half an hour these days, so I'm going to go and grab some breakfast and I'll show you what I'm having actually, and then we've got all sorts to do. I've got garden jobs to do outside today. The sun has just come out when it was freezing just only half an hour ago. I had my big coat on. Sun's come out, I'm going to get some breakfast and then get back outside, and this afternoon I think we'll be in the kitchen. Look at my blueberries, they're frozen. These are just straight out the freezer. This is some Greek yogurt and a banana pancake. It's so easy. One mashed up banana, an egg beaten in, and enough self-raising flour just to bring it together. And I've just cooked that off, and then you can put honey on or peanut butter or whatever your topping of choice might be. So I've just got some Greek yogurt and blueberries at the moment, and I'm going to have this and get busy because, as you can hear in the background, kids are already busy, putting me to shame. Well, we've had a good few hours outside, so the kids have been really helpful. It's just started raining, so I've said that they can knock off and they can go in. I've been working in the greenhouse and outside. Now, unfortunately, we've had a bit of a slugfest on some of the plants, and I've just potted on the ones that are hopefully going to make it. So, for example, these are brassicas. This is a broccoli. I had loads, but I don't have as many now. I've got about 7 there that are done, but seven plants is a good number of plants. Jack's been helping by bringing me up a load of muck from the muck piles, and I've just been working away, beavering away, but it's like a little garden centre in here, which actually makes me very happy. And I've got all sorts done. There's all sorts to do. Show you around outside maybe a bit later or later on in the week when it stops raining. But essentially I could just be in here for the next 4 days non-stop and I'd still have more to do. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to head inside, and there's things that I want to get done, such as we're going to ferment some radishes together. I've actually got some duck and rabbit meat that I want to can as well today. Now, I'm not going to include that as part of my canning series because it's just me getting used to using the canner again because it's been a little while. So I'll show you guys on the vlog what I'm doing, but it won't be a how-to, if you like. So the point of that is our freezers are filling up and we're going to have other things that need to go in soon. But also I don't just want to be reliant on the freezers. I'd like some shelf-stable items again because it's been a little, it's been a little while since we've had anything canned, just due to, you know, other commitments and things like that. So it'll be a good time to get the winter pantry stocked up again. And also we found that some of the duck that we had, for 1 or 2 reasons, was a little bit tough, so it always needs slow cooking. So I think pressure cooking will be a fantastic way of preserving that. Actually, we generally only eat it 1 or 2 ways, so I think that'll be a really great way of doing that. I'm not going to get the radish now because I don't feel like getting wet just yet, so I'm going to head in. I'll give you a quick skim of some of the stuff that we've done, and an idea of what's left to do. And the kids are going just after lunch today, so then it'll be just me and you. I want to start potting on the peppers that are doing quite well. I've just watered it maybe a little bit too much. It's quite soggy at the minute, but I'm thinking about putting this guy into that size pot, which will be his final resting place. And if you just this is what we've been working on. So these were actually some of the broccoli that I picked up from the garden centre. As I say, I don't normally buy plants, but I did have, they were on offer and I thought you may as well pick some up. So we'll see how those do. I'm not too bothered. But these are my homegrown ones that need potting on desperately. This has been one of many. So we've got pak choy, more cabbage there. This is tree cabbage and more broccoli. So obviously all of those won't get used. But yeah, I can never just put 1 or 2 seeds in. And these are the tomato plants that are actually starting to look a little bit better. So now that they're picking up again, I'm going to give them some TLC at some point. These are the squash plants that were super dry. No, these are courgettes, sorry. They're coming on really well now, so desperate to be potted on. So they're in the they're in the queue. And also these tomatoes will go into new homes over the next day or so as well, hopefully today really, but I've had a little bit of enough time working in here at the minute. So this has just been the station that I'm working on. Still all needs sorting out. I'm just knocking them out and knocking them out. So let me show you what we've got done and where they've gone. The tomatillo have been put into big pots, and these are filled up probably 2/3, 3/4 of the way full with muck and compost on the top. And these guys have gone in here. There's another one somewhere. They must have had an argument. She's walked off. So these are just there now. I've just watered them, and they'll go somewhere shortly. This is an example of one of the tomatoes that I was talking about that's actually looking better than they did and are going into these bigger pots. This is where we had, it was actually a snail fest, look. So these were leftovers, which I always tend to keep just in case of things like that. So I'm pleased that they've actually used them as some sort of sacrifice plants. But they've gone for a couple of the peppers as well. So Grace found the culprits and they've been rehomed. This is the muck that Jack's brought up for me, bless him. So he's filled all of these pots up as full as he can or he dares. Brought them up in the wheelbarrow, so I'll use those as I see fit. They'll either go, things will be planted in them with compost, or I'll use them to fill other things up. And we've started bringing all of the things outside. So these are the tomato plants, the outdoor ones that were questionable. So some of them are definitely not going to be any good. Others will, so we'll keep an eye on those. We've got more stromboli, which I'm grateful for because some of the ones that went in the ground died. These are Swiss chard. And if you come over here, just in the rain, finally got some courgettes into the old boiler bucket. Just one of the plant pots that we used last year for potatoes. I've decided to put a courgette in there. We've got some sad looking lettuce. It tends to go in a mood, doesn't it, when it's transplanted. Nettles, homegrown. And then the nasturtiums. There was supposed to be beans in there, but if you remember, they got nipped by the frost. Anyway, all of those were beans as well. I've got more if I decide to put some in, but you can see they're definitely not coming back. I thought they'd be okay, but they're not. But the nasturtiums are doing really well. Every part of the nasturtium is edible. So the flower, the leaf and the seeds when they come. So a good one to have. Another courgette. I actually love courgettes. I'm going to go quicker because I'm getting soaking wet. We've got more cauliflowers, Swiss chards, and then these are some of the kale that I showed you yesterday, and I've survived the night. All doing well and just getting watered in a little bit there. Now I've got 2 cabbage plants here that are going to come out either today or tomorrow, because what I'm going to do is preserve the leaves. I might can them, I might not. We'll see, but I want this space all complete of brassicas with the nets over. There's one in the corner there that's suffered quite badly, and you can see these potatoes with the rain that we've had have just shot up and taken over the radish. So some of these radish are starting to get a bit woody, but that's fine because we've got pigs, remember. So that's pathetic compared to the one that I've just picked. Anyway, so the ones that aren't great will go to the pigs, and the ones that are good will come in the house because I want to do fermented radish. So there's lots of fermented stuff that I'm going to do some short videos on. The rain just switched my camera off. It literally pressed the stop button. I have been telling you lots of other things, but didn't get captured. Starting to stop, also known as it's stopping, raining now, and we're just going to have a quick look at some of these beds because they're doing really well. The carrots are coming through really nicely, beetroots, turnips, and the celery, which is for just cooking with. It's not for fresh eating. So I'm really pleased with how all this is doing. Now, I'm not going to turn this just into a garden video. I just wanted to show you what we've got going on as it stands on Monday. And now I'm going to head inside because I'd like to spend the afternoon in the kitchen and then probably come back out here this evening and head inside and get that organised, ready for doing the canning that I told you about as well. So I'm going to squeeze past this, get this gate closed so no escapee chickens go in, and close these doors up as well and head inside. Well, the coat's still on and I'm putting the lamb on. We're going to take Annie, the big dog, out for a walk just over the fields, over the bridle path near us. So in this lamb I've just literally got, so it's frozen onion, carrots, rosemary at the minute. I'm just going to make a broth with it so that I'll discard the veg. I'll put it on the compost, nothing gets discarded. Put it on the compost and then we'll use that just to make sort of a lamb gravy, and I'll do some roasties and things like that with it. But that's on high now. I'll probably leave it on high most of the afternoon, just see how it goes. But that'll take a little while to get up to heat, being a slow cooker. So we're just going to go run the dog over the field so that she's tired out for the afternoon while I'm working in the kitchen. We've just noticed the elderflowers coming out. It's out a bit later here in the northeast, but that is a fantastic sign. I've got lots of different things I want to do with elderflower, and as always we make a cordial, so I'll be doing that as well. In fact, I've got another rhubarb cordial on the go that I need to get finished now, so we're going to have something to eat when we get back, and then I'll show you what to do with that. Well, the kids have just gone and the house feels so quiet, so I've just put the washing machine on. That's not why. You might hear that in the background. I just love this. Honestly, every time I like to get it in the videos as much as I can because I just love the look of it. But anyway, a couple of days to myself now. Not totally to myself all the time because Stephen is at work, so obviously home straight after work. But a couple of days to ourselves, should I say. So I'm going to get busy in the kitchen now that those guys have gone. We've just had a soup that I made, the one that I've sent Stephen to work with. Beef and vegetable, beef and barley is probably a better description. And I've actually just posted that on the blog because I do want to try and get more recipes and things like that we're using up on the blog. No photos or anything, but you know, best just to get it done rather than try and wait for the perfect time. I'm going to go to the storeroom that we've got, so outside, and grab the rhubarb things that I've got going on in there because there's a couple of things that I need to get updated. So we're making the cordial and the wine, and I'm about to film a separate video for the cordial. And I'm also just going to get that bread on. It's just bread maker bread. Here's the dog and there's the washer. Let's get busy. I don't really want to go outside. It's absolutely tanking it down, also known as raining heavily. It's one of those days. The sky is grey. It feels quite autumnal in the kitchen at the minute because it's so dark. But at the other side of the house, so out the front, because I'm looking out the back at the minute, out of the front it's really light. Still raining out the front. Anyway, can you see? Does that? It looks like a beautiful day on the camera. I'm honestly not lying. Right, I'm going to go out and get the stuff and be a big girl. Didn't take a keen eye to see that the bottom of that pan was a little bit scorched just from the volume that I've done of rhubarb. Now, this is going to be a long process. Try again. So basically, I've cleaned this pan out because it doesn't take a very keen eye to notice that there was a heck of a lot of scorch on there. That's just because I've done so much and I didn't stir it enough. So basically, you're trying to drip the rhubarb now without letting your sieve fall into the pan. And it's going to be quite a long process. You're supposed to do it overnight, but I'm going to get this done this afternoon. As I say, watch out for a full video on this because this is what I'm doing while I'm off. And it's lovely again. Well, it's not lovely. It's not raining. The lambs have heard me. Where are they? Oh, they're at the gate. Those clothes. I've been out forever. Right, I've got a little problem I want to share with you. Let's do this together. So we've got a surplus of eggs. Now, one thing I do want to get done while we're on holiday is get the Honesty stall fully stocked and up and running. But I only want to put completely fresh eggs on there for obvious reasons. And I've just got loads that are of an age where I wouldn't want to give them to other people. I mean, obviously we know that you can test eggs in water, and I do that for all of ours anyway, just to be safe, because sometimes there's a clutch that the kids might find and they forget to mention that to me and we think that they're new. But I genuinely have so many eggs, it's unbelievable. And there's only so many things that I've ever done with eggs. I cook a lot with eggs, but there's literally, you know, after you get past 20, 30, 40 recipes, what do you do? And I'm talking about using a lot at a time. So let's collect them together because there's yesterday's as well. Didn't get around to doing it yesterday, even though I should have done. So we're going to collect them now, and over this coming week we're going to find out what recipes we can make with them. Are you going to let me in? Honestly, lady. take it back. Can you hear it? I'm under the trees, so it's missing me. But the rain has started again, so let's take our basket of eggs and get back inside. I think I might try some lemon curd. Have you guys tried lemon curd before? I know Louise, my best friend over on Living the Good Life in Wales, she makes it frequently, so I'll drop her a message actually and see how to go about doing that. So I'm just taking my coat off, sorry for the shaky footage. So it's, yeah, I think it's a write-off for now for the next few hours outside. So I'm going to leave these eggs just on the countertop. The rhubarb cordial is still dripping there. I've sorted the wine out for what I need to do now, so this is still my temporary batch that I was working on. So I think I'm okay with that. I do need to pop and pick up a hydrometer, is that how you say it? To measure the alcohol content. Whew. But first of all, there's so many things I need to do. Where do we start? So it's the canning that I wanted to get done. I've just been into the garage and grabbed all of the meat that I took out of the freezer. It's actually not all defrosted. I did think that it would be, but it's not. And I do want to do all of this together to make the best use of the pressure canner, so because you can double stack them. So I'm gonna, the ones that are totally not defrosted at all, I'm just gonna defrost using the cold water method. So literally submersing them in cold water and changing that every so often. And the others that are defrosted, I'll just keep in the fridge, and we should be able to get to that tonight. Yeah, hopefully that'll work, and because I definitely want to get these pressure canned tonight and get this rhubarb cordial water bathed as well. I've got to get something on the shelves on my first day off. Well, the cordial is on. This is actually only made 4 litres only. So, I mean, that'll be gone before we even know it, if the family know that we've got that. And I don't buy cordial from the shop when we've got our own in, so it would be probably the only one that we'll have. So I'm not going to bother water bathing this. I would have water bathed it for 20 minutes to try and make it shelf stable in sterilised jars, but I'm going to do an even bigger batch next time. And the canner that I've got, you can obviously water bath in that as well, and that holds 7 litres at a time. So I'm going to aim for doing a 7 litre batch this week at some point, probably when I'm doing the video, which might make it easier actually. Anyway, thinking that through. So I've got 4 litres sitting in the saucepan now, in the big stock pot now. That's just the sugars just infusing into that, and then I'll just let that come back down, and that's the cordial done. And that'll last in the fridge for a good 3 months or so, so I'm not worried from that point of view. Well, it'd last if nobody drank it, but as I say, it's already gone. And Stephen's been in, gone back out. I forgot that it's a gym day today, so he's been in and gone straight back out. So I'm going to sit down and have a look through some of my preserve books, because I want a few more ideas, and why not? So I'm going to enjoy some time doing that. Well, it is turning into a miserable day outside, so I'm just going to make up the lamb's feed. I'm sure every farmer does it like this. This is obviously the bottled lamb's milk. So essentially it's just the same as human, how you make it up for humans, I guess. So I'm using my Ninja Whizzer. Just going to add some warm water to it. It's absolutely freezing. Well, that's it from me for tonight. I'm coming out to do the final checks, make sure everything's okay. The horses are at the gate. Annie is on her lead because it keeps insisting on eating things that she shouldn't, and she keeps giving herself a bad stomach. So I'm just doing a quick check to make sure the lambs are still on the riverbank, which it looks like they are, and the meat birds are still okay, that Mr. Fox hasn't been and tried to get in. Giving Annie a little stretch of her legs before bed, and then I'm off to bed myself. So I've been updating the blog and I've been doing some social media style things tonight. Didn't manage to get through, didn't manage to get the canning done because the meat's still frozen. So I've taken the next lot out that I'm going to be doing, which will be the first one of my new series. So the duck and the rabbit and things that I'm going to be canning tomorrow, hopefully. That's not going to be a series, that's just, as I say, that's just for me for practicing. But after that I'm going to start my new series, and I'm starting off with a chicken pot pie filling. I'm going to do some vegetarian ones as well. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to say good night and thank you for spending the day with us. Bye for now.